You won't find the answers by looking to the stars. You must find it inside yourself. And you must create your own destiny, Kal-El.
Somebody save me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Superman, Christopher Johnson.
Hello everyone.
And it's been a long time, but we're finally continuing our Smallville with my expert in Novice.
Lord have mercy. 2 seasons, everyone. 2 seasons we had to watch.
Yep. 2 enjoyable seasons.
Well, while I did enjoy the journey, still remember, each episode was 45 minutes to an hour. That was a lot to watch compared to...
We were reviewing Cobra Kai, that's also long like that.
But not as many episodes.
I watched a lot of JoJo's with you.
Those are only 22 minutes an episode.
I can help it that your Hulu doesn't have commercial break.
I'm just... even without commercial breaks, it still would be nearly an hour. 45 minutes. But I digress.
We watched a 4-hour movie. You can't complain about that.
But that was one movie.
Now because you're complaining we're doing 10 Commandments.
Oh, come on, man.
That's what you get.
We'll see about this. But anyway.
It's confirmed. We are seeing that.
But anyway.
All right.
Seeing as though you are the expert with this, you're the one that helms this, by all means.
All right. The synopsis. This season, Clark finally learns who he is and where he comes from. But he also must acknowledge a potential destiny set into motion by his biological father that could change his life and the lives of those around him forever. Clark also develops newer powers and abilities and comes in contact with a new type of meteor rock / kryptonite that affects him in a different way. This season had Tom Welling back as Clark Kent, Kristen Krug as Lana Lang, Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor, Sam Jones as Pete Ross, Sam Jones III as Pete Ross, Allison Mack as Chloe Sullivan, and new regulars John Glover as Lionel Luthor,
Salisbury native.
yep, Annette O'Toole as Martha Kent, and John Schneider as Jonathan Kent. So, what do you think of this season?
It was actually really good. I wasn't. Well, I knew things were gonna start getting real good. I mean, the first season in of itself, where things were getting established, was pretty good. With this season, we got a lot more lore.
Yeah.
We got some nice callbacks to essentially the whole property that is Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see more of Clark's personality and the fact that he's not a complete goody two-shoes.
Yeah.
You know, while we always try to call him the big blue Boy Scout and everything, we tend to forget that because of where he was raised, he's only human.
Yeah.
And sometimes your own desires can cause some issues.
Yep.
Though, when it comes to that,
Yeah.
it has to be persuaded through something.
Yeah. But speaking of Clark Kent, we'll talk about Tom Welling.
Fantastic as always.
Yep. and we got to meet him at AwesomeCon.
Yes.
I got to wait in line, waiting for his photo op, and he comes out of nowhere with his person, joking around, "Is this a line?" Walking around. Yeah.
He's such a nice person.
Yeah.
Very personable.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to joke.
Yeah. Yep. But this season, Clark got one new power. He got heat vision.
Which comes in clutch.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, dear God, does that come in clutch.
Of course, it starts with his hormones. When he gets turned on.
What must I say? What must I do to show how
By him
much
getting turned on by
I think about freaking you?
him thinking about Lionel Wang, and then the hot villain of the week.
I mean, yeah. He, yeah.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that once you hit that age, that's when you develop heat vision as a Kryptonian?
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't explain this in the comic books, but this is an interesting idea.
And his relationship with Flex is still pretty strong, although in the season premiere they do have a bit of a falling out briefly.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, kinda.
But he gets to be Lex's best man for both of his weddings. Lex's weddings.
True. Very true.
And he actually gets the girl this season.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he also gets red kryptonite.
Yeah, that thing that I was saying, something would have to persuade him to show that he's only human after all. Dear God, that red kryptonite.
Yeah.
Now, the red kryptonite is working a bit different in this series compared to other iterations. Red kryptonite is always changing depending on how it's used. Here, it actually is, an actual meteorite.
Yeah.
Compared to other interpretations where it actually had to be man-made. They actually had to take regular kryptonite and, through science, change it.
Yeah.
And instead of it practically turning Clark invisible and having him absorb way too much solar energy, this essentially, how would you say it works for him in this?
It makes him into a bad boy, literally.
It essentially takes away
His ambitions.
his inhibitions.
Yeah.
And he essentially has no filter.
Yeah.
He does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And as time goes, he starts to get addicted to it. It's essentially Kryptonian cocaine to him.
Yeah. In the Lois and Clark show, he just didn't care when he got red kryptonite. He just loses care of saving people, which is pretty much what inspired in Smallville.
Yeah, but I think Smallville did this a bit better
Yeah.
because, I mean, one, that's really messed up.
Yeah.
What they did on Lois and Clark. But with this opened up a whole avenue as far as exploring really what Clark Kent is thinking when he's going through day-to-day life.
Yeah.
We finally get to find out what are all the things he would actually want to say.
Yeah.
But because he's a good guy,
Yeah.
And he tries to be, that respectful farm boy.
Yeah.
What would happen if he had no filter? What would happen if he really got to say what he wanted to say?
Or do what he wanted to do.
And that's what I found very interesting.
Yep.
Tom Welling did fantastic.
Yeah. He even, as right, Kay Clark, hitting on Lana and every other girl.
He had a lust for life.
Yeah, although, unlike where people don't remember their stuff when they're infected by kryptonite stuff, Clark actually remembers what he does.
Yeah, and
when he turns back to normal.
Yeah, and he feels bad about it because, one, he kind of wasn't in control of himself, and two, he knows that a lot of what he was saying and doing is how he really feels.
Yeah.
But because he's a good person, he doesn't say and do those things.
Yeah. And he actually finds out that he's from Krypton finally.
Yes. Why had to take
A second season.
Yeah. That he finally gets the rundown on where he's from, his Kryptonian name, understanding Kryptonian language, and
Meeting sort of his father.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess they knew they got picked up for a second season, so they just waited for the second season to finally get into the heritage part of it.
True. But I do love the fact that we actually get to see him learn these things, and it kind of throws him for a loop.
Yeah.
I mean, how would you feel if you found all this out?
Yeah. You wonder, are you meant to rule the world or what?
I mean, for real, if he was still wearing the red kryptonite ring, this Smallville would have turned into Brightburn.
Yeah. But speaking of his love interest, let's go to Lana Lang, Kristen Krug.
I still like Lana.
Yeah.
Though, dear God, some of the Dawson Creek will they, won't they stuff, I have to admit, is starting to get to me. It gets worse season 3, dear God.
Oh, and it'll still get worse because there's some more of that.
It's like, for the love of God, Kent, just tell her already. Just tell her.
Yeah, well...
Why we gotta go through all this?
Yeah. Well, first she gets suspicious of Clark's abilities, which kind of gets thrown under the rug after the first episode.
You were in the middle of a tornado in a truck, and somehow, some way, this man was in the eye of the tornado and got you out. You saw this man get you out in mid-tornado.
Yeah.
You know something ain't right here. Something is not human here.
Yeah. And then she ends up finding out about her real biological father.
Which, did everybody just have to find out stuff this season?
Yeah.
Everybody just had to find out, oh, this is your real father. Oh, the man that you thought was your dad and raised you up until he and your mom got exploded thanks to kryptonite. Oh no, not your real dad. This guy here.
Yeah. But we never see him after this season. So the whole plot point was kind of pointless.
I don't consider it completely pointless.
Well, she kind of forgets it. Oh, you just wait for later seasons. She forgets that he ever existed. She still thinks the guy who raised her is Surf.
Well, I mean, he may not be your father, but he was your daddy.
Yeah.
I mean, Yondu said it best.
Yeah,
sometimes your daddy isn't actually your father.
Yeah. She also learns how to defend herself.
Yes. Yeah, because after she has to deal with some ne'er-do-wells
Yeah.
that want to cause a ruckus and
Get Clark in trouble.
may have had some very, very, very questionable intentions for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she decides to finally learn to defend herself, and who better to teach her?
Yeah. Let's get into the other guy we met at Awesome Con, Lex Luthor.
Yep, Michael Rosenbaum. Man is so nice and so
Yeah.
funny. I enjoyed meeting both of them, but dear God, Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite people I have met going to conventions.
Yep. Me too. Tom and I like his upcoming episode. Since him and Tom both do Talkville, plugging that in, and Michael does Inside of You. So double plug for Michael on those.
And the fact of he's not only, in my opinion, the best live-action Lex Luthor and arguably the best Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
he's also... I was first introduced to him as Wally West.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the best Flashes and one of the best Lex Luthors.
Yep. But his story was that he was able to save his father.
Even though he thought about it.
Yeah.
He took his time thinking about it.
Yeah.
He was like, do I save him
And there were more pain in my life.
or do I let him die? But then that makes me no better than him.
Yeah. His conscience came into play.
Yeah, which shows what an utter Greek and Shakespearean tragedy the story of Lex Luthor is going to become in this show.
Yeah, first he deals with Lionel Luthor for a half period. Find out about more of Lionel's extramarital affairs. He thinks Clark might be his brother at one point, which Clark's really happy, which Lex is really excited for, that maybe they might be brothers, even though Clark knows that's not true.
Yeah, because alien.
Yeah, but we do see a heartwarming moment where Lex was wondering if they could have been brothers, how close their relationship was at that time, which makes it even sadder.
Yeah, and it just adds... I commend this show with adding so much layers to Lex Luthor and the relationship he and Clark Kent have, because
Yeah, although
when we know where this is going to go.
Yeah.
But seeing their relationship of being friends,
Yeah.
actually being there for, one another, Lex trying to be a good and honest person and seeing and knowing that he's going to end up becoming what we all know Lex Luthor to be is sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but that's what makes this so compelling.
And he has one questionable thing. Well, he also has a Clark room.
Well, yeah, the season is where he has built his, I guess, detective room?
Yeah. The shrine, whatever.
Where he has put everything that he has learned about Clark Kent into various computers and files and everything, because he's like,
He's still trying to figure out how he survived.
how did I survive my car going off that bridge and my car hitting Clark Kent?
Yeah. But let's talk about the guy who did find it. Oh, yeah, and Lex also gets married twice. With Clark being his best man twice. A high school sophomore being his best man. Which even Michael Rosenbaum was like, why? Looking back.
And again, how old is Lex supposed to be?
Like 1920-ish. He's a little bit older.
He old enough to drink alcohol.
Yeah.
So he's definitely at least 21.
Yeah.
Why is this grown-ass man hanging out with sophomores from high school?
Yeah.
Did anyone think about this when they were writing this?
No. No, because of the actual age of Tom and Kristen, no, they weren't thinking about that.
Yeah, I know that actually everyone is around the same age, but as far as the story goes, Clark Kent is 15 going on 16 years old, hanging out with a 21, potentially 22-year-old man. Just going to his house, just la-di-da, like almost every episode, and is close enough to this man to be his best man for both of his marriages.
Even though he doesn't go to the second one. He goes to the first one, but he's do other things for the second one.
Yeah, things beyond his control.
Yeah.
That somebody should have thought this through.
Yeah. Well,
but then again, I guess Lex had to be a little bit older just to explain why he's bald.
Yeah. And then let's get to one of Clark's friends who did find out his secret this year. Actually, as a storyline this season.
Hallelujah.
Sam Jones III as is Pete Ross.
Finally, the best. Well, who do you really consider to be Clark's best friend?
They mainly focus on Lex.
I mean, when you really think about it, I mean,
he hangs out with Lex more than Pete.
That's why I call it into question, but they've known each other since they were young kids.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a brother relationship between Clark and Pete.
Yeah, Pete finds out in episode 3.
They didn't wait. They were like, okay, we need to start rolling some people in to find out about this.
Yeah, it just can't just be the Kents all the time.
Yeah, which, thank the Lord
Yeah.
that we're starting to have this happen.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much of Clark having to lie or find some way to find some way to get out of people questioning everything that's going on.
Yeah.
There's only so much of that
Yeah.
before I start getting like,
Oh,
because God knows I went through that with The Flash.
Yeah. And that was all in season 1.
True, but I don't even think Iris didn't find out, I think, until season 2.
No, she found out the end of season 1. She found out like close to the end of season 1, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so this is the Flash for season 1 basically did all of the Smallville stuff, got it over with the secret stuff.
Which, fortunately, thank the Lord,
Yeah.
because I don't know if I could have gone through multiple seasons of that.
Yeah, but Pete does help when it comes to Red Kryptonite Clark. He actually does do something with that. By being the first one to figure it out that it's the Red Kryptonite and told the Kents about it.
And then later on, when Pete ends up being manipulated by a mysterious thing,
Yeah.
a really messed up mysterious thing.
Yeah.
Dear God, Pete is so out of pocket.
Yeah.
I really have to question, who was more out of pocket this season?
Yeah.
Clark, under the influence of Red Kryptonite, or Pete when he has a freaking Kryptonian parasite in his body?
I say, I say Pete because he actually uses kryptonite on Clark when he's upset that Clark's getting on him.
I mean, I understand it was the parasite, and he doesn't even remember doing everything that he does. But dear God, man, you now know your friend is a Kryptonian, and kryptonite slowly kills him, or rapidly kills him, depending on how much kryptonite is around.
Yeah.
And you straight up open a lead box in this man's face with kryptonite, like, yeah, hurts, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then give him red kryptonite when that doesn't work.
Oh. Come on, man, live a little. Red kryptonite in your pocket. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
I mean, both are out of pocket, but yeah, when you think about it, Pete was willing to kill Clark.
Yeah. Yep. And sabotage Clark's chances with Lana under that influence.
So out of pocket.
Yep.
So out of pocket.
But he did help out with helping Clark steal that kryptonite key in order to destroy the ship.
Yes. Definitely this season when, everyone's not being influenced by really weird and messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Pete is really, he comes in clutch.
Yep.
He comes in clutch. He's very dependable.
Now let's go to the other person who isn't in clutch. Allison Mack is Chloe Sullivan. God damn it, Chloe.
God damn you, Chloe. GDYC. God almighty.
She's the one who ends up breaking up with Clark at the season premiere because she doesn't want her heart broken. And then gets on him when he's trying to warn her about stuff, saying that, he's only jealous.
Get over yourself, Chloe.
And then gets upset when Clark gets with Lana.
Get over yourself, Chloe.
And then joins the dark side.
A complete heel turn.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up complete heel turn. Wearing all black heel turn at the end of the season.
Yeah. Just to investigate Clark for payback for going out with Lana.
And then deciding, all the stuff I'm learning as a Kryptonian, and it seemed like my dad, who put his consciousness in a computer, is like, I'm deciding your future for you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nah, I ain't handling this. Give me my red kryptonite. I'm out.
Yeah. But let's talk about our newest regular.
Oh, no, we still have not gotten in on Chloe.
Oh, yeah.
We have not gotten in. It's already bad enough that we're dealing with a freaking love triangle, which isn't a complete triangle,
No.
because Clark doesn't like her like that.
No.
She's just a good friend.
Yeah.
And I think pretty much Clark knows that she's into him, and he does feel bad about that, but he ain't into her like that.
Yeah.
He wants to be with Lana.
Yeah. And she knows that for a fact.
Yeah, but yet she can't get over herself.
Who's a sort of a adoptive sister since she ends up living with her.
Yeah. I mean, you are close to everybody here. Everybody's your friend, but yet you can't grow up and put those feelings aside.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the heart wants what the heart wants, but I'm sorry, you weren't picked.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his fault. It's not Lana's fault. It's just how things are. It's just how things. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get mad at them because of the fact that.
Yeah.
You can't get mad at them.
Yep, and then
And then you're going to go ahead and take your feelings out on both of them when they're not doing this to go out after you.
yeah,
It's just they are into each other, and Clark only sees you as a friend.
yeah. So she ends up going to the dark side.
Will anyone else, as we continue the season, aggravate me compared to what Chloe in season 2 will?
A couple times.
But I mean to the point of, dear God, you are the bane of the existence of everyone. You are making things so much more complicated than what they need to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And then let's get into John Glover, our fellow celebrated native, finally gets a series regular opening credit spot.
Despite the fact he's only in half of the season.
Yeah.
Which, I guess that was in his contract.
Yeah.
Shrewd.
But you still feel Lionel's hand in the episodes he does appear.
True, because...
First he goes blind. We find out more about his extramarital affairs. What he did to the... What the bargain he did with the Kents in order for the adoption of Clark to happen.
And him essentially using it as leverage.
Yeah.
Because this man never does anything for the kindness of his own heart. He always... Everything he does is to potentially be used for his benefit.
Yeah. And then have the hots for Martha Kent.
What must I say? What must I do to show how much I think about freaking you, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely a number of times that he looks at Martha like, soon.
He even gives her a watch.
Soon.
Yep, gives her a watch and everything.
I swear that this man looks like he might want to risk it all.
Yeah. Yep.
But then how much is he really risking? Because she starts working for him. I mean, almost all of their everything he could take like that.
Yeah.
Plus, soon he gonna start his own investigation on Clark. He's got all the leverage. He has the high ground.
Yeah. Speaking of the Kents, let's go to Ned O'Toole and Martha Kent. She gets a job with Lionel Luthor. Because the Kents need to pay the bills for the farm.
Yeah, because apparently farming in Kansas just ain't cutting it right now, I guess.
And yes, our only sewer line is just the Lionel part for the first half of the season. Until she finds out that Lionel is invested in Clark, then she just quits. Off screen.
No explanation, no proper, falling out or anything. Nah. She just stops working.
Yeah. And then we find out she's pregnant. Which, how?
And how old are they supposed to be?
40s.
I mean, that's already a high-risk pregnancy there.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of it, the fact of, I guess, in their relationship, she's the one that has a much more difficult time in, carrying a baby full term.
Yeah. Which we all know that doesn't turn out well. So it was kind of pointless. But we understand why. It was for Clark to want to leave.
Yeah, essentially everything has to crash around him to drive him to be like, I am just a burden to everyone in Smallville as a whole. I'm going to Metropolis. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah. And then let's go into the other Kent, Jonathan Kent. Jonathan gets a lot happen through him in this season. He gets set up for a potential murder. He finds out that Lionel gave his wife a watch.
And the fact to find out that he would definitely use, the solid of, after repaying the solid of,
Lionel.
Of helping Lionel and Lex.
Yeah.
He helps forge the adoption for Clark.
Yeah.
But finds out that Lionel would definitely use that solid to blackmail him.
Yeah, because we saw what would have been a potential friendship had Lionel not gone, did his Lionel thing.
Yeah, because apparently just being a manipulative sociopath just runs in this family.
Yeah.
As we learn in the next season.
Yeah.
That's why I feel so bad for Lex.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for this man.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So let's get into the good, the acting.
Yes.
Everyone's performance from the series regulars were great.
Yes, truly. Though, still, I have to give it to Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
But then again...
And Tom also.
Yeah, it's... They both have to share the MVP award for this season.
Yeah.
Because you got to see the whole gambit of emotion between both of them.
Even when the writing was terrible, the episodes were terrible, they were the best part of.
Yeah. Because even if the plot wasn't necessarily the best, the fact of everybody knows and understands their characters, they still carry it.
Yeah. And like I said, some of the writing, we had a lot of best episodes, which we're going to be listing again, the top 5.
Yes.
Again, which was great, mainly from the beginning. Some in between and in the end, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like I said, the storylines got bigger. Like, Clark found out his heritage and everything. His new powers, like we said, heat vision.
The cave.
Yep. Everyone's favorite set, the cave. Where they played Dust in the Wind during the time they go into the set. Yep. And then him able to leave
and
a
that
building.
works because that song's done by Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh, did they even realize that when they did that?
Probably. He actually did Leaping. We forgot to mention that.
Yes.
From the Die Hard episode.
I mean, we are starting to see him be faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap a building in a single bound. Though he wasn't able to leap the whole building.
Yeah. But and a main character finally learns Clark's secret. Finally.
Yes.
So there's at least
Which
someone.
Pete comes in clutch, just like how Heat Vision comes in clutch.
Yep.
But again, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
With the Heat Vision, 8 times out of 10 with Pete.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at least Heat Vision isn't trying to kill you when it's being manipulated.
Yeah. And then the Origin of Red Kryptonite, which is a recurring kryptonite. When they ever want to see Bad Boy Clark, we get the Red Kryptonite.
Yeah, it really threw me for a loop when he was starting to fiend for it, like an addict. Went by the end of the season,
Yeah. Yeah, he
Everything is just frustrating. Where's the kryptonite? Where's the red kryptonite? Where is it?
Yep. 3 times red kryptonite this season. The most it's ever going to be is in this season. And then, of course, the bad. Like we said, some of the filler episodes were terrible. And
they were still trying to find their footing.
Along with adding an episode from season 1 into season 2.
Yeah.
So we get an episode where Pete doesn't know Clark's secret again.
Continuity?
Yeah. And then, of course, we already mentioned it a lot. God damn it, Chloe.
GDYC.
Yeah. Yeah. But want us to do the scores?
Well, yeah.
I'd give this a 9 out of 10. Better than season 1. And it's become one of my favorite seasons.
Yeah, I agree with you. I give it a 9 out of 10.
But if you have a different opinion on season 2, go find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Where else?
You can also find us on Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok.
And make sure to find us on YouTube and make sure to like, comment on our videos. Whether it's without trolling, give us your opinions. We don't mind your opinions. Just don't mock us because of disabilities or whatever. Share our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It would really help.
Yes, because once we reach 500 subscribers, we can start getting monetization, and that could really help with our whole production.
Mm-hmm. But we're not done yet, in my expert in Novice. We continue with season 3. Good old season 3, which I think is better than season 2.
Well, yes, these are facts, but dear God. Why'd we have to do 2 seasons in a row? Why 2?
We split two JoJo stories.
That was one season, and because there is so much story, you had to break it up into 2 parts.
But I'm going to roll us out. Well, thank you all for watching. Be sure to come again. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And it would really help. Now cut, print, that's a wrap.